We have here an example that is actually an application of differential equation pertaining to the derivation of the formula for Newton's law of warming. So this is an example here, and even if this is not labeled as warming, there is an indication here that this process or this item or situation involves a certain warming of a body. You have a frozen food item is at negative 10 degrees Celsius and placed in a room at 25 degrees Celsius. After 15 minutes, its temperature rises to 0 degrees Celsius. So we would know that from negative 10 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius, of course, the body or the frozen food item actually was being warmed. The question is, how long will it take to warm the same object to 20 degrees Celsius, provided that the same room temperature of 25 degrees Celsius is given? This time, we're going to use here the formula that it was derived again when we try to come up with the mathematical model for the Newton's law of warming. It's actually identified in this manner. The formula is our temperature is identified as the sum of the temperature of the ambient environment plus the difference of the initial and the ambient environment to be multiplied with e to the power of kt, where t is the time intended and k is a constant of proportionality. In the process of solving this item, we are going to solve for k or e to the power of k later on, which is easier for us. I'm going to discuss that anyway later. But let's try to come up with a situation as well, so we will be guided on what to do. We're given with the initial temperature of the object, that's T sub 0, which is at negative 10 degrees Celsius. Okay? And then we are given with that would mean our time at that point is actually 0 because that's the initial temperature. As for after 15 minutes, that's 15 in terms of minutes, the temperature rises to, let's call it T sub 1, is 0 degrees Celsius. Okay? And then we are asked about how long will it take, T sub 2, for the same object to be warmed until 20 degrees Celsius. So we are asked about this situation. For situations like this, we are actually advised that it would be easier for us to come up with a table. So allow me to provide here a table. So T for time and then a temperature of the object. At 0, it was actually negative 10 degrees Celsius. At 15 minutes, sorry, not there, 15 minutes, it actually increased to 0 degrees Celsius. And obviously, it's being warmed. And then finally, we are to identify the time needed for it to reach 20 degrees Celsius. So this is the table here. This is a very helpful one in order for us to structure our process. And by the way, for the purpose of computation, let's drop in the meantime the units in degrees Celsius and even the minutes that we will be using simply basic mathematical procedures in solving such. So the first thing here is, what we need here is K. So we can actually solve for K using this first situation. And of course, since it's called the constant of proportionality, it's also true for the situations, the second one, and even if you're going to add another situation here. So we're going to solve for K in this process, the formula. So we're going to have here at 15 minutes, this is our T, right? This will be our T, or T sub 1. So we will have here T, the formula, T sub m plus T sub 0 minus T sub m e to the power of kt. Take note that we are at 15 minutes, so this is actually 0 degrees Celsius. Let's just simply use 0 again. Let's just simply use 0. Then you will have here is equivalent to the ambient temperature. Our T sub m, by the way, we were not able to emphasize that. That's actually 25 degrees Celsius. In this case, let's just simply use 25. Okay? So we will be guided with the processes that we need. Later on, you will have here plus your T sub 0 is actually negative 10, and then minus your ambient temperature, which is 25 degrees. Again, we're dropping all the units in the meantime that we can actually solve for or use the mathematical procedures to solve the problem, times e to the power of your k, and then your t is actually 15. Okay, that's 15 at that point. So if we're going to continue this, you will have the next item here, 0 is equal to 25. Then you have here, of course, minus 35 e to the power of 15k. Subtracting both sides by 25, we have negative 25 is equal to negative 35 e to the power of 15k. And if we're going to multiply both sides by 1 over negative 35 to cancel this, doing that on the other side as well, you will actually have 25 over 35 is, if I'm correct, it's actually 5/7, right? Equal to e to the power of 15k. Now, to solve for k, you need to use here the natural logarithm. So if you're using that, you can actually come here. Natural logarithm of 5 over 7 is equal to the natural logarithm of e to the power of 15k. Using the rules for logarithm, you'll have here natural logarithm of 5 over 7 is equal to, you can use here, let's say 15k, natural logarithm of e, which basically equal to 1. So your k is actually the natural logarithm of 5 over 7 over 15. But this is still not exact value, and if we're going to come up with an approximated value for that, and later on substitute that here, it will still be subjected to as an exponent of e. So my suggestion here is, instead of solving for k, allow me to solve for e to the power of k. Okay? Because when I use e to the power of k, I will be solving the entire expression here, not necessarily in a form of a value with decimal places. And it's easier for me to substitute that in the same equation when I look into the second situation now. I'm talking about this. Instead of having the natural logarithm of both sides, I will still have 5 over 7. Of course, this is equivalent to e to the power of k to the power of 15, right? That's the power law for exponents. And if we're going to take the 15th root of both sides, this would mean I will have e to the power of k here. That's already my task here. Now, take note, I can rewrite this as 5 over 7 raised to the power of 1 over 15 e to the power of k. I'll be using this instead of this form here, which of course will have the same illustration as well. But I'm more confident with this because if I'm going to return at this time now at the target t sub 2, okay, t sub 2 is actually 20 degrees Celsius for the object. Okay, we were going to use the same formula. T is equal to t sub m plus t sub 0 minus t sub m e to the power of kt. I'll be using this as the entire form. This is how it goes. Our t sub 2 is actually 20 degrees Celsius, or just simply 20. Our original, room temperature is actually 25. Plus, you will have here, of course, t sub 0, still originally negative 10, minus 25 here, e to the power, now, let's proceed now. Instead of e to the power of k, I'll be using here 5/7, 1 over 15, times your t, okay, times the t. So this is actually equivalent to 20 is equal to 25 minus 35. Then you will have here 5/7 of your t over 15. So subtracting both sides by 25, you will get here negative 5 minus is equal to negative 35 5/7 of t over 15. So multiplying both sides by negative 1 over 35 to cancel this, negative 1 over 35, you will get here, if I'm correct, is 1 over 7 equal to 5/7 of t over 15. Since I don't have much space, allow me to copy this. I will be adding another page here. And then, in solving for t, what will happen here now is the use of the natural logarithm, supposedly a part of the process when solving k earlier. We did not use that because we just stick with e to the power of k, but this time that process will be duplicated here. So we have the natural logarithm of 1 over 7 is equal to the natural logarithm of 5 over 7. And then you have here t to the power of 15. Okay, that's for the first form. Then, by the use of the rules for logarithm, you have your natural logarithm of 1 over 7 is equal to t over 15, the natural logarithm of 5 over 7. Multiplying 15 both sides, 15, natural logarithm of 1 over 7 is equal to the natural logarithm of 5 over, t times this one here. And solving for t finally, you'll have here 15, natural logarithm of 1 over 7 over the natural logarithm of 5 over 7. This would be the final form of our t. when you're going to try solving that and approximating that in a specific value, our T, the time needed for the frozen food item starting with negative 10 degrees Celsius to be warmed until 20 degrees Celsius at a room temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, given that it reaches 0 degrees Celsius at 15 minutes, is actually indicated approximately as 86.8 minutes. This is actually in a form of minutes. So this is the time needed for the specific object to be warmed until the intended target. This is the process of solving this type of problem, which needs us to identify either k or e to the power of k. It's up to you. Again, I'm using e to the power of k because it's easier for me, using the formula also derived by the previous video. As we used the formula in the previous video when we tried to come up with the mathematical model for the Newton's law of warming an object. Thank you very much for watching.